Hey guys, I'm Doctor McFarland, and in this video, we're going to do a continuation of a previous video and build presets based off of different amplifiers that we can then put into a song to better categorize and group our presets to where we can access everything how we need to. So let's dive right in. But first, a word from our sponsor. This video is sponsored by Zounds.com. They did send me the ToneMaster Pro as a review unit and to make videos with. So if you like the content you see here on the channel, then be sure to thank Zounds.com by clicking my affiliate link down below. And anything you buy through that link, I'll get a small commission. So I greatly appreciate the support, and let's get into the content. So in the previous video, we made multiple presets based off of a deluxe reverb. And in this video, I actually want to do one based off of the new Reverb 53, which is really one of my favorite amps of all time. In a past experience, I did own a orange TH30, which is a very cool amp. I've always actually wanted to own a Reverb. I just never got into it. But I've owned like 35 other amps, and there's a video somewhere I can leave up in the cards so you can go watch that video to see all the other amps I've ever owned. But thankfully with Mahlers, I don't have to own physical amps. I can just access all these cool sounds from a digital Mahler. So pretty cool stuff. So this is my Doc song. We're actually going to make a new song now. We'll call this Tang song for Tangerine, as if you didn't know like what amp I'm building this off of. So now that we've made a song, let's go into our actual presets, and let's start with 75, and let's build a basic orange preset that we can then build on to have a clean rhythm, lead, trim, ambient, and swell sound, which is really my core group of sounds I always use for pretty much everything. Okay, we are going to have separate head and a cabinet for this. So I think it saves on DSP overall. So we'll have the Tangerine V30. And then we'll act like we're putting a head on top of it. So the Tangerine RV53. Okay, first thing that we need to do that I didn't do in the last video is go ahead and put my preset volume all the way up to 100%. And then you can also raise your amp level up to 100%. Okay, and this is the sound we have so far on my bridge pickup. Pretty high gain so far. We can definitely dial this back to be less high gain for our cleaner sounds. Let's go ahead and add in a reverb. And for this one, we're not going to go with the spring. We're just going to go with a nice like room reverb. I like that one. And we'll dial this mix back a little bit, maybe the decay, and we'll dampen it out. Let's definitely dial back the gain, which we can always raise up later. So pretty clean. Let's bring the treble back, the bass up, the mids down. Let's find that sweet spot where we have a clean kind of edge of breakup kind of tone. Okay, that works for me. If we want to reduce even more of that sound, of that gain, we can add in a studio compressor. And this will allow us to kind of reduce the signal going to the front end of the amp by compressing our transients. Okay, something like that. And we do have a blend knob over here. If we put it on 100%, it's definitely very compressed, but we can dial it back just a little bit. And this is on the neck pickup now. Okay, so now with that sound, I can stand to bring the gain up a little bit more. Maybe not that much. Yeah, maybe around 30. I do love the trim on this guitar, by the way. This is my Kiesel Delos with a Godot trim on it, and it's just buttery smooth. Okay, I really like it. Based on a previous video, let's go ahead and add a few other elements here. Let's go with the Nashville Overdrive. We'll add some more reverbs. Let's do a nice cloud reverb. We'll do a delay. Let's do an echo tank for this one, which is cool. And we'll do a auto swell delay. Okay, so we have a longer cloud reverb for ambient stuff. We have a basic echo tank. We have our swell delay, our basic room reverb, an overdrive, and a studio compressor. And then for everything else, we can just raise or lower the gain on the amp to get more overdrive that we want. All right, so with all that said, let's go ahead and save this. We'll call it Tang Basic. And then for our first slot, we'll go to the next empty slot. We'll call it Tang CL for clean. So now that we have that out of the way, this is our basic clean sound. We'll go ahead and turn off the swell in here. And technically, if you wanted to, you can delete some of these. Now that we already have a basic preset already saved, we're not going to interrupt anything that we've already done on the basic by deleting anything from our clean preset, but we can just leave it in for now because we're not really hindering the ability to add or take away anything because we're not worried about that. We're just building one preset at a time and then only turning on what we need within that preset. Okay, so saving that, and this is the sound that we have. Okay, we can go to the cab, and if we want to get a slightly different microphone sound, we can. Let's try the RE20 just for fun. Okay, we already have a little fuller bass going on right there, which is nice. And depending on our other sounds or our more high gain sounds, we can go in and change the microphone on those specific presets just to get a different sound. I'm going to dial back the high cut filter here and really smooth off some of that top end. And I do like the 1 to 2 inch area here, so let's try it on the cone. So at least this way, we're not really changing the overall character of our amp and our cab, even though we can be switching out the microphone and moving it around slightly to just dial in our sound a little bit more. Okay. So now based on that, let's go make a rhythm sound now. So select the next empty preset and we'll call this RHY. And we can either choose to bring in our Nashville Overdrive, which is an option. So we'll see what this does. Okay, I like that sound. I'm okay with that, but let's save that for the ambient and the swell stuff. Let's go ahead and dial in more gain on this amp here. Okay, so we went from like 30 to about like, let's do 45. Okay, pretty cool. Okay, let's save this one more time. We'll call it our lead. And we will really crank up the gain on this. We'll dial back the bass. And we'll bring in our echo tank. And maybe bring the feedback a little bit. Okay, for our speaker, we can probably stand to bring up the microphone over to the cap edge. That's going to give a bitier type tone to the sound. Okay, and let's actually go all the way back to our clean sound now. And let's add in a tremolo block, which I kind of forgot to do for the basic, but that's fine. So modulation, we do tremolo. Honestly, tremolo is my favorite modulation effect, and I just really like it. Already sounds good. I can adjust it later if I need to. And we'll save this as a new preset and call it Tang Trim. Okay. Yeah, sounds nice. All right, let's go to our basic, all the way back to our basic here. And we have all these pedals on. We can turn the swell off. Hit save. Next empty preset. We got Tang A and B. Back to clean. Back to basic. The swell is on. And we'll call this one Tang Swell. Okay, so now we should have 6 presets that we can put into a song. And we can then dial in the sounds even more if we want to. Okay, so going into our song view, we can hit plus. And let's type in Tang. And here's our clean. I really wish there was a way to like drag and drop directly into the slots instead of having to do this search thing, but because it's kind of like one extra step to me, because you have to deal with the foot switch assign, the label, and all that stuff. And, you know, it is what it is. Here's our lead. We'll go up here. We'll add our trim. We'll add the ambient. And we'll add the swell. Okay, so what we get with this is really the same type of sounds that we have with our deluxe reverb amp in the other video. But now we have a different flavor, we have a different amplifier and a different cab, and it's just a different overall experience. So you can do this with literally any other amp or amp combination that you want within the ToneMaster Pro. So if you like your Fendery cleans, but you like your Mezza Boogie type leads and rhythms, you can just start mixing and matching different presets within your song and group everything just how you want for your set list. So let's go through the clean sounds that we have here. Okay, I like it. Let's do the Tang Trim. Here's the ambient. Okay. Here's the swell. Here's the rhythm. And here's the lead. Alright guys, so I hope this was helpful in seeing just another example of how to use the song mode and to make your presets, put them into a song, and now you have 6 core sounds that you can really access at any given time. Now, another layer that you can do with these songs and presets is, even though we may be on a clean sound, for instance, we can still go into our foot switch mode. And then as long as we have different pedals assigned to our foot switch assign, then we can still access those and turn them on and off. So if I'm on my clean, but I still want to have my Nashville overdrive accessible, for instance, okay, I can now turn that on and off with my foot switch. So it gives me another layer of flexibility to go in and make the presets exactly how I want, but still be able to turn on and off different things, because maybe I just don't need to switch to a totally different preset just to turn on and off my tremolo, for example, or maybe to kick in ambient swell sound or whatever else. So you can kind of mix and match the workflows to your specific needs and to your specific set list. So if you have any questions or comments, leave those down below. And if you are not subscribed to the channel and you like the content that you're seeing, then consider hitting the subscribe button and the bell notification so you'll be notified the next time I release a video in this Tonemaster Pro series. And that is it for this video. So I am Dr. McFarland. I will see you in the next video. Keep rocking.